When schools cut art programs, the announcement usually sounds simple. A budget line, a scheduling adjustment, something non-essential being trimmed to make room for what really matters. But what if the arts weren't the extra, but the anchor? What if removing them didn't just shrink a program, but started a chain reaction that quietly weakens the entire school? Because when art disappears, something else disappears too. Academic performance, student engagement, emotional stability, even the culture of the school itself. And these losses don't happen loudly. They happen slowly, quietly, invisibly, until suddenly, nothing feels the same. Students without access to the arts show lower test scores, less motivation, and more behavioral challenges. Attendance drops. Creativity stalls. The very skills this generation needs, flexibility, problem-solving, curiosity, fade from their daily lives. And the cost doesn't stop with childhood. When art programs are cut, we lose future designers, innovators, teachers, filmmakers, architects, long before they ever discover what they're capable of becoming. And the hardest truth? These cuts fall heaviest on low-income communities. Schools where art could make the biggest difference, emotionally, academically, and socially, are the schools where it disappears first. Today, we're pulling back the curtain. This episode explores the real, measurable consequences of cutting art education and why the cost is far higher than anyone realizes. Hi, I'm Courtney Casto, and this is the hidden cost of cutting art education. When a school cuts its art program, the announcement usually sounds straightforward. A necessary budget decision, a scheduling shift, a trimming of extras. But research has been telling us for decades that these cuts trigger far more than the loss of paintbrushes and paper. They carry academic, emotional, behavioral, and social costs that ripple throughout the entire school ecosystem. One of the first cracks begins with academics. Studies like Berger's investigation into visual art instruction demonstrate that consistent art learning strengthens the cognitive skills underlying reading and writing, particularly for students who struggle with traditional instruction. Similarly, Moga's review of research on arts learning found that studying the arts enhances thinking skills that support achievement across all subjects, especially in areas requiring interpretation and inference. Smith-Rim and Uppetis's landmark Learning Through the Arts study showed measurable gains in math performance among students in arts-integrated schools, proving that the arts don't distract from core learning, they reinforce it. But academic decline is only the beginning. Luftig's investigation of an arts infusion program found that students involved in the arts reported greater enjoyment of school overall, not just in their art classes. When the arts disappear, that engagement fades. School becomes something to endure rather than explore, and motivation slips away quietly, one lost opportunity at a time. Schools also feel the loss in student behavior. Tatel's study on the relationship between fine arts courses and student attendance found that at-risk students enrolled in arts electives missed significantly fewer days of school than those without arts exposure, even when their grades and backgrounds were similar. So when arts programs vanish, the number of disciplinary issues rises. It's not that students suddenly become more difficult, it's that the spaces designed to help them regulate emotions, collaborate, and express themselves have been taken away. The arts have always been emotional lifelines for young people. They help students process complex feelings, build confidence, and strengthen a sense of identity. Luftig's research again showed that the arts-infused environments increase students' self-esteem and willingness to take risks. Remove those environments, and students lose one of the safest places to explore who they are. Creativity isn't built in a single lesson, it's built through constant, repeated practice. Moga's and Berger's studies both emphasize that artistic learning fosters specific habits of mind: flexible thinking, persistence, reflection, and imagination. Bowen's 2014 research on museum learning adds another layer. Students exposed to the arts develop stronger critical thinking skills and richer interpretations of the world around them, skills that shape future innovators, designers, filmmakers, architects, educators, and cultural thinkers. When art programs are cut, these future talents often vanish long before they're ever discovered. Bowen's 2014 findings also showed something even more profound. Students who experience the arts become more empathetic and more civically engaged. They view multiple perspectives, understand culture, and care about community life. When the arts disappear, we don't just lose creativity, we lose future citizens who feel connected to the world around them. And the hardest truth is this: these consequences aren't evenly distributed. Bowen's research found that the benefits of arts exposure were even greater for the students in low-income communities, yet these are the schools that lose their programs first. Budget cuts hit hardest in the places where creativity, emotional support, and academic enrichment are needed most. When the arts vanish from high-income schools, families buy private lessons. When the arts vanish from low-income schools, opportunity simply disappears. For decades, researchers have shown us what the arts do for young people. Luftig showed that they build joy and self-esteem. Smithram and Upidus proved they strengthen academic learning. Bowen demonstrated that they increase empathy and critical thinking. Tatel showed that they improve attendance, especially for at-risk students. And Berger and Moga documented how the arts nurture flexible, creative minds, the very minds our future depends on. So if the evidence is so clear, what do we do now? The first step is recognizing that art isn't optional. It's not a luxury. It's a core part of how students learn, academically, emotionally, and socially. When we protect it, we protect the heart of education itself. The second step is rebuilding, thoughtfully, creatively, sustainably. That means integrating the arts into core subjects, not isolating them. It means giving teachers time, tools, and training. It means valuing the work of artists and educators who build the spaces where imaginations grow. And it means ensuring that every child, not just those in well-funded districts, have access to the creative opportunities that research shows are essential for achievement and well-being. Because when art returns to a school, engagement returns, curiosity returns, confidence returns, and slowly the culture begins to heal. Students who felt invisible find their voice. Students who felt lost find direction. And students who struggled with academics begin to see themselves as capable again. The arts don't just change classrooms, they change lives. As a former public school art educator, I've seen what happens when the arts thrive, and what happens when they disappear. I've watched students come alive when given a brush, a camera, a piece of clay, a chance to create something that matters. And I've watched others shut down when those opportunities were taken away. That's why I started this channel. Studio CC exists to bring art education back into the conversation, back into our classrooms, our communities, and our culture. Here, we explore the history, the research, the practice, and the power of creativity in education. Because learning how to think, imagine, and express ourselves isn't extra, it's essential. If this episode resonated with you, if you felt the impact of a great art teacher, or wished you had one, I hope you'll join me. Subscribe, leave a comment, share your story, and help keep this conversation alive. The future of creativity depends on all of us, and together, we can rebuild what's been lost. If you've made it this far in the episode, thank you. You're exactly the kind of viewer helping rebuild the conversation around art education. Before you go, I'd love to hear from you. What was your experience with art education? A great teacher, a class you loved, or maybe a class you never had? Your stories help shape future episodes, and I read every one. And if this episode sparks something for you, tap subscribe so you don't miss the next part of this series. It really does help this channel grow, and it tells YouTube this is a conversation worth sharing. Finally, if you want to keep going right now, the next episode, The Art Teacher's Purpose and Plight, is on screen. Just click it. I'll meet you over there.